Thank you, Valentin. Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Kizik. We're EAGLYS. And as Valentin mentioned, we focus on protecting confidential data. The reason we actually focus on protecting confidential data is the question of how can you put confidential data to work, especially once you know that cloud providers always have your keys whenever you're actually using their services. Confidential data sharing is limited through regulation as well as internal policies. And your security and reputation is always at risk whenever you're exchanging this sensitive information. This leads to cost that is way too high to be able to actually use this data in any potential way. One of the good examples that we are working on is, for example, the financial sector problem, where the data that banks actually have on fraud is contained only within specific units and cannot be exchanged easily. This is the problem that we actually solve. The way we approach our solution is essentially what is called bring your own key. The way we do this is encrypt all of your data and process your data as encrypted, allowing you to retain control over the key, whereas the data that's actually being processed cannot be encrypted by anyone that actually has access to this data. This allows you to safely use the data in the cloud, since the data providers cannot actually see your data. Secure data in untrusted zones and process it wherever you need to, even if you don't have complete control over the resources there. And secure data collaboration by exchanging specific keys, allowing your partners to only access specific components of the data that you want them to. Our secret sauce is our encryption engine. We work on optimizing the secure computing components and the encryption underlying them. This allows us to simplify the deployments as well as the infrastructure that you would need to implement our solutions. This in turn makes it a lot more scalable. Our approach to the market is essentially focusing on the finance and logistics sector. Throughout the program, we were looking at the medical sector as well. However, we found that in that sector, there's quite a lot more regulation that needs to be taken into consideration before any systems can be deployed. Therefore, we focused on these two markets. Our penetration strategy is to partner with ERP and SCM companies, specifically because the ERP and SCM data markets are growing at an astounding rate and are essentially going to double by 2025 to the tune of almost $150 billion. The channels and partners that we are looking at are, for the low-hanging fruit, would be the marketplaces within those companies, as well as integrations with their customers directly through partnerships with the said companies. And one of our beachhead customers is SAP, which provides these solutions, and we aim to partner with their customers within the finance sector. We are trusted by major companies, mostly within Japan. As I mentioned, we started gaining traction overseas. We have also won several awards and recognitions for our work in the field of secure computing. Just to touch on our financials, we raised our seed fund in 2019 at the very beginning of that year to the tune of $2 million. And we've raised Series A at the beginning of the previous year in 2021 to the tune of $8 million. In general, we've been positively growing our revenue every year. Just to touch on our team real quick, especially on the two guys you can see on the left there. These guys are our founders, and they started the company specifically because they were originally working in the field of AI, building AI that would consume and operate over private and confidential data. And they immediately hit the problem of not being able to access such data due to these privacy concerns. So they decided to solve this issue, and they started our company, and we've been working on these solutions ever since. So today I ask for you guys to partner with us. We, of course, are looking for customers abroad, but we are also looking for partners, especially platforms that need to process confidential private information, but their customers require to be able to control the keys that they actually use. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to discussing further in the breakout session. Thanks.